Sing with us, this is the biggest ever Sing for Nature.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can everyone hear me? They think I'm taller than I am, my goodness. Has everyone had a good day so far? Well, I've just heard that there's between 80 and 100,000 of you. It's amazing. So thank you so much for coming and being here. Right, we're going to get started right away, and I'm going to introduce the Climate Choir. We've got Dave, we've got Sally, Fiona, Kay, Kai, and Kimway. So a huge round of applause to the Climate Choir, please.
I think you'll know this song. It's just like the song you know, but normally it's got the word angels in it, and we're going to sing.
beautiful organisms. Fantastic, thank you so much for coming. What are we going to do this afternoon? Restore nature now!
Restore nature now!
Louder! Restore nature now!
Restore nature now! Restore nature now! Restore nature now!
Okay, thank you very much indeed. Now, before we start off, I've got a request here from the stewards. We are worried about a crash at the front. There are lots of young people here at the front. Would everyone very gently and slowly edge backwards by 1.75 metres?
Oh, stop it. You're too specific.
1.75 metres, just edge back a little bit. There's not a lot of room down the front. That's great, thank you very much. See the movement taking place. We've got a full line-up of speakers coming up, haven't we, Beast?
Oh, we've got some great people who are going to be talking to you a bit about their passions and a plea for restoring nature now. And we're starting off with an excellent first guest. She's a fantastic wildlife TV presenter. She's also president of the Wildlife Trust. Without further ado, Liz Morning, everyone.
Let's hear it for Miss Morning!
Take a minute because this is actually quite emotional. So amazing to see all the beautiful faces.
I like cats because they roam in the nature and they're just always wild and we should embody cats.
Restore nature now! Restore nature now! Restore nature now! Restore nature now! Please, we will agree! We need it!
Thank you so much. Time and time again, to be incredibly effective in creating positive change for the world. You are standing firmly on the right side of history. You understand that without having to manage the hands arrive, and it's volume. This is a culmination of an extraordinary amount of work by so many people and organisations. So a huge thank you to them all too. A mighty 300 different organisations came together to support our message to politicians, to put an end. Yeah! Not to mention how many are we, Chris and Megan? Like, are we over 100,000 people, do you reckon? 80 to 100,000 people, as well as 300 different organisations, to support our message to politicians to put an end to this shocking and relentless attack on nature. This is what collaboration and the sharing of expertise and resources across different sectors can achieve. We are stronger together, and I have no doubt that as we continue to unify our goals and our ambitions at this crucial time for the planet, we will be stronger than ever and continue to achieve great things. But this is also testament to every single one of you. This is what happens when, as individuals, we reconnect to each other in support of a great cause. As a society, we have been encouraged to be individualized, disconnected from each other, better than, different to, doubting, fearful. But as a social species, connection and community is how we flourish. It's in our DNA. We need it to be the best of who we are. You're going to get me emotional now. I need to keep it together. Connection energizes us. It inspires us to take care of each other and of nature. And when we give back to nature in reciprocity for all it does for us, everything thrives. This is the source of so much of what makes life worth living. Indigenous peoples and local communities still connected to nature never forgot this, but we need to help each other to remember. Connection empowers us, and perhaps the powers that be don't like that too much. So let's continue to show everyone what we're truly made of, shall we? I'd like to ask you to do two things. First, take a deep breath and notice how you feel right now. How does it feel to be connected to all of these people around you who walked with you, most of them strangers, all with the common goal of standing up for nature? What else will you remember about today? The second thing I'm asking you to do is to tell someone new, someone you don't know, about that. We know from behavioral science that another great force for positive change is sharing our own personal stories. It helps others to relate and empathize. It can change their perception of what's possible and think, if they can do it, maybe I can do it too. So next week, when you're in a coffee shop or at the supermarket or on a train, wherever, speak to even just one other person about how it felt to be here today, connected to everybody else around you. Perhaps you might have a photo on your phone and think, if you're surrounded by all these people, perhaps you're dancing in the photo, and that can help start the conversation. Find common ground with them and relate it to what you experienced today. By sharing your story, you'll be continuing the beautiful ripple effect of change for the planet and for humanity. And let me tell you, that ripple effect of change is gathering pace. All the organizations here today are tirelessly fighting for nature. More and more business communities are coming together, pledging to prioritize the health of the planet above profits and infinite growth. Ecological economists, environmental lawyers are working hard to change the systems that keep us entrenched in endless cycles of production and consumption that destroy nature. And all of these incredible people and organizations are making headway. We just don't hear about it enough in the news. But it is happening. There is still a lot of work to be done, but together we can continue to propel this pace forward, supporting each other as one global community by each doing our bit. True humanity is a oneness. It's an interconnectedness with each other and with nature. Thank you for making this powerful connection felt and heard loud and clear today. Have an amazing day, everyone. Well done all.
Thank you, Liz. Some really important messages there and something to all take home of. We are so much stronger when we're together, when we've got that diversity of ideas. Our campaigns become stronger too, which is what is so exciting about this.
Okay, he's not 60, and he isn't deadly,
Well,
but he's the best things, a brace of scorpions and some pit vipers. Put your hand together for Steve Batchel.
Hello, London! I have always wanted to say that. Yes, my name is Steve Maxwell. This fella here is who I am here for. My little boy, anyone you want to say?
That's what I think on my book.
Yes! I've been lucky enough to spend pretty much my entire life working in wildlife. And my finest, most treasured moments have all been right here. So right here, maybe right here, that would be ridiculous. But I do mean here in our set of islands. We have treasures here to equal anywhere else on the planet. I've been paddling off the coast of Cornwall. I have a leatherback turtle paddle inside boat. It's swimming a seagrass meadow, swimming seals, nudging against my mast. And a grey seal came over and seemed to its place. A bright cornice on the crust of their never seen sight. Designed with us so strong. It's so great. In our boat. And it's ours, it's our heritage. It belongs to us. It's up to us. Now, last thing I No, that's supposed to be a say to any of you out there who's tried something done normally, I might say, for example, that a peregrine falcon is the fastest creature ever known to live, thundering down faces, hits its prey on the wing as much as 200 miles an hour, hits its definitely, and then you all would respond with deadly. You do that for me? Fantastic. So, to believe that the only metric of progress has to be economic growth is definitely to believe that in a planet of finite resources you can continue that growth indefinitely is definitely to pour effluent, contaminants, raw sewage into our waterways continually is definitely, and to have a government who can believe that this means nothing and that nature and bringing it back is not critically important would be definitely, I say it's definitely, it is unquestionably. Thank you all very much. Have an amazing day.
Well, there's not a clearer message than that, is there? Not at all. Absolutely adore Steve and everything that he does. Campaigns for nature, I've been to some of his theatre shows, and it is just an absolute spectacle. So thank him very much for being here today. That's great.
Okay, now Steve was talking about peregrine falcons. Did you know that less than 500 metres from where you're standing, if you're in Parliament Square, there is a peregrine falcon's nest? Yeah. And they fledged young? Yeah. And I can't see through the roof. So the first person that spots a peregrine falcon flying over the House of Commons this afternoon must shout really loudly and point to the sky. We're relying upon your ornithological expertise. And we'd love to see one of those birds. But now we're going to see Tanya Steele, who's the CEO of WWF, one of the most important conservation charities, not just in the UK, but the whole wide world. Put your hands together for Tanya.
It is amazing to be here with such an incredible crowd. I cannot believe how many people have come out today for nature. Thank you to each and every one of you for marching. It makes a huge difference because, as we all know, nature is in crisis. And the awful fact, the fact I use every single day, is that since 1970, average wildlife populations have plummeted by almost 70%. And in this country, 70% of our ancient woodlands gone, 92% of our seagrass gone. Familiar wildlife, skylarks, hedgehogs, are now unfamiliar, and we have rivers choked by pollution. So you're right to feel passionate and angry, but together we can change things. WWF's really proud to be here alongside nearly 380 organisations today. We work with communities everywhere in the world to protect wildlife, from the Amazon rainforest to the Great Barrier Reef. Yay, we found a peregrine! And we're proud to work with grassroots community here in the UK. But when we give nature a chance, when we give it a helping hand, it bounces back. We've seen beavers back in our rivers, the return of the large blue butterfly and red kites across nearly all our skies in the UK. Your support, your work, your commitment has made these stories possible. But we know that now our political leaders, the ones that will be in there soon, they need to step up. Our polling shows that 80% of the nation, and I feel like most of you are here today, but 80% of the nation cares about nature and climate change. But more than half don't think our politicians care. Our leaders have fallen behind, and it is time that they caught up. So let's send a clear message to those who want our votes, that we expect them to act now, to restore nature now. And recognising too that the actions that we take here, the food we import, the emissions we pump into the atmosphere, affect wildlife and wild places all around the world. And the clock's ticking. Our next government must take what is going to be our last opportunity to protect nature. Because there's no economy without nature, there's no food without nature, there is no future without nature. And if we restore nature, nature will restore us. Let's make sure that everyone asking for our vote on the 4th of July gets that message loud and clear. And thank you so much again. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here today. Thank you.
Did someone honestly see a peregrine falcon?
Really?
Because all I've seen is a couple of pigeons. Yeah, and
Are you sure over that?
I'm beginning to doubt that the collective ornithological kudos of 80,000 people is questionable.
There's quite a lot of people in this vicinity pointing, so if anyone's not looking in that direction, that's where it
Right,
is, apparently.
Right, okay.
Apparently. Hey, white-tailed eagle round Big Ben. It's not, you know, aim high, right?
I once had a meeting with Michael Gove in a building just behind us. When I went in to speak to him, there were 2 red kites flying around.
Red kites?
I said to Michael, we have to take a moment and look at these. And we did. And then we got down to business. And that's what it's about today, isn't it? Getting down to business. Because we want to send a very clear message to the people who will be incumbent here very soon, that we are going to restore nature now.
Now we know, of course, that nature is so important for our mental well-being and our physical health. And our next guest today is one of my personally very good friends, but also a man I think is slightly superhero, because he's an author. He's a full-time GP who works to save lives round the clock. He goes on television to talk to you all about ailments and the issues and educates us all. But he's also a huge ambassador for wildlife. He's the president of the RSPB. It's, of course, the one and only Dr. Amir Khan. Round of applause.
Let's hear it from here.
Let's go. Let's save the planet, guys.
Hi everyone, how are you doing? It's so nice to see you all. You all look absolutely gorgeous. Honestly, you can see what I can see. It's a beautiful sight. Now, I'm Dr. Amir Khan. I am a NHS GP, broadcaster, president of the RSPB, vice president of the Wildlife Trust, and Wildlife Conservation. And people often ask me, as a doctor, Amir, why are you so worried about nature? As a doctor, surely you should just focus on seeing patients. Well, actually, I'm here today because I really believe that our health and the health of our environment and the nature around us is inextricably linked. I mean, how can it not be? We've evolved alongside nature. We breathe the air that it gives us, we drink the water it brings us, and we rely on the food it allows us to grow, all those bounties it provides for us. And if any of those systems get sick, then so do we. And that's what we're seeing now. The system is sick, and we are seeing that. My job as a doctor is to recognise symptoms and put them together and diagnose and treat an illness. And this nature crisis that we're in now is a symptom. It's a symptom of a much bigger disease. A disease that has been allowed to happen by a small number of people who benefit from it. And for the rest of us, we get sicker. For the rest of us, our planet gets sicker. For the rest of us, our wildlife numbers deplete. So it's really important that we act now. The air we breathe is vital to our health. If we breathe in polluted air, the kind of things that we breathe in cause inflammation in our body. It causes something called oxidative stress that increases our risk of respiratory illnesses like asthma and emphysema. It increases our risk of heart disease and certain cancers. It's even been linked to dementia and premature death. We've seen already the negative effects that polluted water can have on our health. We've seen sewage being pumped into our rivers, agricultural waste, industrial waste, urban waste. All of that has led to me seeing patients in my own area with E. coli infections because they've been swimming in those rivers. We saw recently cryptosporidium infections in certain parts of Devon. We need that to stop. And it doesn't just stop there. It's on the food that we eat. With climate change, with warmer and wetter winters, a lot of our crops are likely to fail. It's predicted that about 17.5% of wheat and barley is going to fail as the weather changes. And that's going to lead to increased food prices and more food poverty. I work in inner city Bradford, one of the most socially deprived areas in the country. I already see the cost of living crisis and the effect that has on people's health. As food prices go up because of climate change, I'm going to see more and more of that. We're all going to see more and more of that. We're going to see health inequalities widen. The rich will be able to manage, they'll be fine. But the most vulnerable in our society will really suffer as a result. And it's not just us. Thank you. It's not just us. All of this is having a lasting impact on the environment and the biodiversity around us. We've lost 38 million birds from our skies in the last 50 years. 97% of our wildflower meadows have disappeared. And England is one of the most nature-depleted countries in the world. That is shameful. That is shameful. We also have one of the lowest woodland covers of all of Europe. Again, that is shameful. And according to the State of Nature report, 1 in 6 of our British species is at risk of extinction. So what we need is an environmental right. We need the next government, whoever that is, thank you, whoever that is, to put a plan in place that will really restore nature now. We've got legal protections for nature, but we haven't seen any main political party have a tangible plan that makes sure those legal protections stay in place. And there are solutions to all of this. There are solutions. We need green jobs. We need to move to renewable energies. We need polluters to pay for all of that. And we need this commitment by 2030, 30% of our land and seas for nature. And we also need to work with our farmers. We need to make nature-friendly farming. We need to create incentives around that for our farmers as well. So, thank you. So as a doctor, there is a cure. There's a cure for all of this. We can do it. We have a chance now to restore nature. We have a chance to move towards a greener, more peaceful future where we can live in harmony with nature, where our skies aren't filled with pollutants, but are filled with birds and insects and anything that wants to fly in our skies naturally, where our rivers and seas aren't filled with sewage, industrial and farmyard waste, but filled with fish, mollusks, dolphins and whales, and where food poverty doesn't exist as a result of climate crisis. Where we can grow crops alongside nature. That's the cure. That's the cure for this disease. And we want those in power to listen. So let's restore nature now. Thank you.
I think the healthcare staff hours of the day are really doing such a special work and works so dedicatedly to the restore and restoration of not only our personal health but our practical health as well. Now, quick announcement, it's going to be a fantastic part of this work, and if you have space, if you are struggling to use your hand up, there are screens over on Whitehall Avenue, so if you are
bit of health, so I might need to have a catch up with him because our legs are getting a little bit sore now. The blisters are catching up with us, but hey ho, it's good fun. We're out every day. And to be honest, peregrines have actually been one of the birds that I've actually been seen most abundant in terms of birds of prey. I've seen so many of them, it's absolutely brilliant. Yeah, keep running around. It's so cool to actually like to see the reaction of people watching amazing birds of prey, any species at all. And that's one of the biggest things we've taken from this walk is the actual sense of just enjoying nature and enjoying what's around us and taking in just how important everything is. And it's so great to see that celebrated with so many people, so many different organisations today. It's been great working with the RSPB for a little while now and just seeing the way things work and the way we create change. The goal there, I'm getting distracted now, don't look, it's a goal, it's alright. We'll look up for the peregrines soon. But it's just amazing the fact that change is happening and we're all here. How do I say this? No one has ever made a difference by being like everybody else. So everybody being here is just making a difference. There's so many names I could pick out of the hat here, but there's so many incredible people, so many amazing, inspiring things that can all inspire us to just make even a small change in our daily lives. So there's one tweet that I dig down in my screenshots on my phone last night, Chris made a little while ago, and I just think it's really important. I just think it really encapsulates why we need to look after nature. And it was, I don't know if you remember this, but it was a long time ago, but he said, say hello to my fluffy, to my little friend. Fluffy, delightful, looking for a home. I gave it a helping hand. Everything counts. Every last living thing, because we make being alive so difficult for them. And that was a little bumblebee that he rescued. And I just think that's such a beautiful little encapsulation of how important it is to take care of everything. If you, anything you can do, any small thing, any tiny change in your daily life can have such a big impact. You know, people have started to become so much more convergent to being, interested in nature and caring about climate change and wanting to make a difference. So keep it up. And without further ado, I will introduce an absolute change maker, somebody who is pushing those boundaries, somebody who's being different, somebody who's also one of the coolest people I know. So if he's ready, I'll hand over to the brilliant Nadine Pereira.
London, 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 you look beautiful today. So my name is Nadine Pereira. Before we get started, I just want you all to make some noise for yourselves today for turning up on such a Saturday where you could be doing anything, but you guys are all here to protect and stand for the nature that we all know and love. So big respect to everybody here. Everybody here. Now, just so I don't get caught in the adrenaline of being on the stage, we're going to do a quick selfie. Super quick. Okay, now serious stuff. So, for me, if there's one thing to learn about nature, it's for me is that there's more than one way to achieve a common goal. So, if we look at the golden eagle and the bumblebee, they fly in the very, very same air. If we look at the plankton on the microscopic level, down to the gargantuan blue whale, they swim through the same waters. And that, for me, is a fundamental part of biodiversity, and that is a fundamental part of what we are trying to protect here as a collective today. But I do make some noise for biodiversity, of course. But what I do find that is often overlooked is that the diversity in our approach as human beings is often put to the wayside. And that is what I want to emphasize here today. In my English borderline working class vernacular, there's more than one way to skin a cat. So that's my focus today. And what I hope to share with you guys and with all the organizations here today is that we need these different perspectives when approaching the problem solving that the natural world is facing. Now me, I've not been in a classroom since I was 15 years old. Stay in school, kids, okay? Now, obviously, stay in school. But what I want to highlight is that for a lot of my life, I was shunned and made to feel embarrassed because I was not educated, classically educated. But here I am today, on this stage, I've become a voice, not only for nature, but for communities who are underrepresented in that space. So, born on a council estate, East London, single mum, all of that. When I was in school, knife crime was the highest in my borough, the highest. And I was labelled troublesome, disruptive, rebellious. And now, if you ask anybody that knows me, they would describe me as troublesome, disruptive, rebellious. So, one thing I found is that whilst I was shunned from the classical education system, there was one place that always welcomed me with a warm embrace, and that one place was the forest. It was nature. Nobody in those woods would judge me. Nobody would ask me to be anything I didn't want to be. They allowed me to be exactly as I was, no matter how I was at that time. And that is the ultimate message I want to send today, is that there is no one way to be a lover of nature. You can all love it in the way we see fit. So, the final thing I want to highlight here is that nature needs all of us. Now, a lot of us here will have ecology, zoology degrees from Oxford, Cambridge, Bristol Uni. Well done. Well done. Okay? Big up yourselves for doing that. Big up yourselves. But I do want people to remember, especially the young people, yes, school is very important. And if I could do my life again, maybe I would go to school. But do not think for a second that if you don't fit into classical education, there is no place for you in this conversation. There is. There is. There is. So remember, if we do these differences of approaches, the next time if you do hold one of these degrees and you're speaking with someone like me, include us in the conversation, because we have great ideas, we have great input and great contributions that often are a lot cooler. But together, guys, we are more creative, we are stronger, and we protect nature. Thank you very much.
Everyone. He's such a legend, using his voice, of course, for nature and communities all across the UK. It's so great to feel everyone's energy when Flock Together first started. I remember looking at it on social media and thinking, what an amazing movement. How does something like this not already exist? It was an absolute wrong thing that it wasn't already in existence. And doing the work with his friends to get it up and going, get it running is so powerful and so important. It's a brilliant organisation.
Thanks, Beast. Now, last weekend, you may have seen the Trooping of the Colour. The royal family on the balcony. And they had the red arrows as a fly past. We've just had peregrine falcons. Yeah. You can keep your red arrows. We've got the fastest animals on the planet ever. Next up, I want to put your hands together, please, to welcome Assad Raymond. The issues that we're talking about are not central to the UK, they're global issues, and Assad is going to speak to us about that. Please give him a warm welcome.
Thank you very much. First of all, respect to all of you, and I bring greetings from the Global Climate Justice League, and I'm not as tall as Nadine, so it's going to go down. Alright. And I'm not going to be as funny as Nadine either. Friends, we are standing together at an unprecedented moment. Our planet, a magnificent web of life that provides the air we breathe, the water we drink, the food we eat, this symphony of life that sustains all of us now hangs by a thread. under constant threat by the intersecting crisis, not only of climate catastrophe, of inequality and poverty, of collapsing ecosystems, but the relentless scourge of war and injustice. Violence against human beings going hand in hand with violence against Earth itself. It's a path of destruction that we know began 500 years ago, when colonisers exploited land and people, stripping them of their resources and their wealth. And it broke our connection, not only with land, but with each other, and has left half the world still struggling to survive. And today, when that continues today, when nature and communities alike continue to be plundered for profit, when forests are felled and rivers are poisoned and lands are scorched and wildlife driven to extinction, those on the front lines, indigenous peoples, black and brown communities, the poor, those who are the custodians of our lands, are also being sacrificed. And the scars of those conflicts over access to resources, of land and power, are already being borne, not just by our land, but by the people themselves. And today, that continues to be driven by the fossil fuel industry, by deforestation for industrial agriculture, and by the giant corporations who for them profit and greed are the only thing that matters. And now we know, we look around the world, as natural habitats shrink and biodiversity declines, the competition for what remains becomes ever more deadly. Dwindling water supplies, fertile land and critical minerals are the new flashpoints for war and conflict in every corner of this planet. Ecocide and genocide fill our TV screens on a nightly basis, connecting the past, the present and the future, where the lives of some people matter less than the lives of other people, where food has become a weapon of war and non-human life has no value at all. But friends, amidst this bleak reality, there is also hope and we're a way forward, where for climate and ecological justice must also be a fight for decolonisation and peace. Where we rebuild our bonds within our societies and across our societies, where this fight to restore our ecosystems is also a fight for the rights of Indigenous people. It's a fight for the rights of those who toil in poverty, and a fight for those who continue to cry out in the name of justice. Friends, just imagine a world where nations come together not to wage war, not to drop bombs on innocent civilians, but to fight together for the survival of our planet and its people. Where the never-ending resources poured into weapons and conflict are redirected towards repair, restoration and reparation. We know another world is not only possible, but essential, and it's already been born in every corner of the world. When you see the Indian farmers fighting to protect their food systems and their land, when you see indigenous movements protecting what's left of our biodiversity, and here, where our climate justice movement has connected the call for a ceasefire in Gaza with targeting those who are not only profiting from fossil fuels, but also from arms sales. Friends, together, we have the power to build a world where the wounds of colonialism are healed, where biodiversity thrives and war is a distant memory. We owe it to those who came before us and those who will come after us, that today, as a movement of movements, we stand as stewards of the earth, as guardians of biodiversity, as champions of peace, and as sisters and brothers across races and borders, and fight for a just, peaceful and sustainable world where everyone has the right to live with dignity and in harmony with our planet. Thank you.
Let's hear it again for Sam Raymond.
for a break. It's time for a minute to sit down, well, stand up and relax. Now if you take your attention to the screens, we're here to talk about wildlife, we're here to talk about the pure joy of it. This is a celebration of wildlife. Too often we talk about the downsides, the declines, the statistics, but you have to remind yourself what you're fighting for, remind yourself what you believe in sometimes, and that has to be done by watching the wildlife we love. So we've put together a nature film for you, filmed by James Stevens, and you can look at the screens right now and immerse yourself in the joys of wildlife. How lovely was that? Do we all feel a little bit happier? I don't know about you, but just looking at wildlife makes me feel so much joy and excitement and so much more motivation to stand up here and shout that little bit louder, which is what we're going to do now. But first and foremost, we're going to listen to some beautiful music. Now, music has the power to engage us in so many different ways. So without further ado, Davies and Daughters.
Thank you. We are Davis and Daughters. This is Sally, my mother. This is Flo, my sister, and I'm Holly. And Sally is a composer, and she wrote this song for Earth Day 4 years ago, and it's called Restore Our Earth.
That was beautiful. Those harmonies are absolutely stunning. Just gonna have a bit of a microphone rejiggle, I think. Right, that was amazing. Really beautiful. Anyone that can sing like that has my utmost admiration. Really beautiful, very powerful stuff. Now next up we have a really young but very, very powerful, somebody who's not afraid to use his voice, wildlife enthusiast, climate active, science communicator, Anishwa Kanchala, everybody. How are you, Anishwa?
I'm brilliant. How is London, everyone? Is everyone ready to save our world? Well, let's get to it.
I love that. Simple. It's great. So tell me a little bit about how you found being here today, Anishwa. Why is it so important that everyone has stood here?
Well, I feel that it's important because of the numbers. I understand that 1 or 2 people might not be enough to make the biggest difference we can, but with an audience like all of you, we can all be sure to make the best difference we can. And we all can share it with friends and family, which will be able to spread it even wider to maybe even different parts of the globe.
Now you've been quite busy making this fantastic poster covering all the UK and some amazing wildlife. How long did that take you?
Well, that took me 1 day to make.
A day?
Yeah.
Oh, you're good.
Because of all of the paintings that I did, well, paintings that I did before, and then I printed them out, but less about that and more about what they are. All of these animals are are from different places where they're from. The red squirrels are needing homes and they are lost because of the mighty grey squirrels, which you might see day to day, are destroying their habitat and making them run for their life. And as well, monarch butterflies, it's getting too warm for them where they are supposed to go, and lots of hurricanes are disrupting where they're supposed to go, and that would be really bad for their migration. And they are famous for being one of the best migrating insects of all, and I can totally agree. And falcons are, well, they're just here. They're helping us with all the things, and we should appreciate them as well, because they're such amazing creatures. And without falcons, all the rats and mice which might contaminate our food because they might hold some diseases, but it's not their fault. And the perfect falcons will be able to clean it up and make sure that none of the diseases go too far to humans. And that means we all can stay healthy, and all the animals as well can stay healthy. And all of these different animals all have their part in the food chain, along with us humans. So we all should actually try our best to help protect our future of our world. Who's with me?
Okay, Nisha.
Let's hear it for Anishma! The future's not ours, the future is his. Let's make sure it's healthy. Thank you, Anishma.
And as well, remember, all we should do to try and make sure our world is the best it can be is to save our wildlife. And everyone, on the count of 3, say restore nature now, the loudest we can. 1, 2, 3. Restore nature now!
He's such an amazing young man. Thank you, Anishma. Bless him, he didn't actually know he was coming up on stage until about 5 minutes ago. So the confidence that he has is just exceptional. He's so great at communicating about the wildlife we all know and love. Now, next up, we've got a man who really needs no introduction. He is the founder and CEO of Ecotricity. He's a passionate man making the world a better place. It's the one and only Dale Vince.
Thanks, everybody. I've got something I want to share with you. Often people refer to it as the cow in the room. It's the blind spot of many people that care about the climate, that care about the environment, of NGOs that do both those things. The blind spot is our diet. Thank you. So we know nature is in decline. The stats are scary. 50% of farmland birds, 80% of butterflies, 97% of wildflower meadows. We've heard that stuff. What's the cause? Is it concrete in the countryside for development? Is it the climate crisis? Is it the oil industry? It's none of those things. It's what we choose to eat. And I'll explain that to you. Farmland takes up 75% of our country. And we use it overwhelmingly to grow plants, to feed animals, to feed ourselves. And that is such an inefficient system. A cow is the worst example. We put 10 times more protein into a cow than we get back out. The best example is a chicken, and it gives us half back from what we put in. It's an incredibly inefficient system, and that's why we've taken so much land. The decline of nature is about taking land from nature for farming, for an inefficient food system. And the great news is, if we all stop eating animals today, tomorrow, whenever, in our country, we can free up 75% of that farmland. Right? And that's 75% of 75%, do the maths, that's half of our entire country that we can give back to nature. Thank you guys, because I'm so glad you received it that way, because I thought I might be telling you something you didn't want to hear, right? Because I did anyway. So for me, it's the 4th reason to be vegan. Often we talk about the climate, we talk about animal rights, we talk about human health. There's a 4th reason, and it's for wildlife in our country. The great news is, it's in our power, this thing. We all choose our food every day. We go to the shops, we buy it, we eat it, whatever it is. we can choose to chew differently. We don't have to wait for governments, we don't have to wait for big corporations. If we stop buying that stuff, they stop making it. And for me, that's an empowering message. We can bring back nature to our country one plate at a time, one meal at a time. When you leave here today, I mean, I don't know how many of you are vegan. That's wonderful. I'm so chuffed. But you know, persuade people around you. It's not about giving it up overnight, right? Just start. I was going to say this. It won't apply to all of you. But now you know, when you leave here today, if you get a Big Mac, the sparrow gets it. So don't do it.
Dale, when we were walking earlier today, you told me that you were making burgers out of grass. Tell us a bit about your project.
Yeah, so we're making protein powder from grass, and it kind of has got two routes. One is forever. I've had debates on social media with people that don't like the idea that we shouldn't eat animals. Protein out of grass twice as efficiently as a cow can, and there's enough grass growing in our country every year to feed the whole country protein-wise twice over.
Right, so they're parked now. I think you can all play.
Okay, next up in your list of entrepreneurial, ecological, fantastic. What about the electric aircraft? How's that coming?
Yeah. We call it EcoJet, and basically it runs on hydrogen, using a fuel cell to turn hydrogen into electricity with no combustion and no pollution. And then we run electric motors instead of kerosene-powered engines to drive propellers. We should be in the air by the end of this year, flying in Britain with a range of 300 miles to begin with, and it's a 70 flying under a 1,000-mile range with no pollution at all. I just want to say one thing about this, because aviation gets a lot of headlines. It's not actually a lot of our emissions, but it's a big emotional issue. And if we're trying to bring the bulk of people with us on this mission to net zero, green living, whatever you want to call it, we can't go around telling them we have to give things up. And flying is a great example of that. It's a different way to do everything that we
Aviation. I'd like to introduce you to Ella. Ella, come on out. Come over here. Let's have a big hand for Ella. Now, Ella is a Taylor Swift fan. Ella, tell us why you like Taylor Swift so much. Will you be rushing away from our gathering this afternoon to see Taylor Swift this evening?
No, I won't.
And you're very excited.
Slow down and spread out when you get there.
Okay,
Try to avoid the slot. Slow down and spread out.
What do you think about your idol, Taylor Swift, using private jets? Hold on, listen. You're not Taylor Swift fans. Ella's a Taylor Swift fan. Let's hear what her fans think about her using those private jets. Tell us how you feel.
I don't think it's very good because it literally has
Stewards, slow your people down and get them to spread out when we get there. We don't want to rush. Pull back at least to the centre now. Slow down, spread out. Slow down and spread out, everyone.
I can't sing, so we both agree with but what we'd like to do is tonight. And Lisa told us there's 80 to 100,000 people here today. Taylor, give up your jets. Taylor, give up your jets. Taylor, I said I couldn't sing. Give up your jets. Taylor, give up your jets. Come on, we want it louder than this. We want all of those fans at Wembley to hear it. One more go. Taylor, give up your jets.
Okay, wait.
Taylor, give up your jets. Okay, send that to Taylor Swift. And stick it in your pollution package and smoke it. I hope you have a... Oh, I've got a friendship bracelet. So we managed to offend all the Swifties, but they're still our friends. Testament to those young people. Ella, thank you very much for being so honest.
Come on. I got one as well. What's yours saying? Yours says Swift.
It says, please leave me alone, don't pick on me anymore.
Alright. Message taken.
Oh no, hold on, I'll fix it over. It said I'm giving up my jets. I've realised the error of my ways.
Come on. That happened quickly, didn't it? Gosh, she listened, she heard, and she acted. Brilliant. Next up, we have a man who is probably much better at singing than you are. I mean, that's not that much of a stretch.
That I was singing along to him in 1979 at Southampton University, and I'd sent him a cassette band that I was playing in with the Titanic survivors, asking if we could support his band, and he said no. But I'm not going to hold it against him, because he gave me teenage kicks all through the night, and now he's our greatest campaigner for fresh water in the UK. He is the one, the only. Football Sharky, let's hear it.
You wonderful, beautiful, extraordinary-looking people. How glorious to see you all here. Give yourselves a thunderous round of applause for making it all this way. Champion! There is, however, one thing I have to share with you. You've been lied to, you've been cheated, you've been misled, you've been told untruths, you've been promised greatness, you've been promised a world that is brighter, more prosperous, greener than anything we've ever seen before, and you have been lied to. As I stand here, there is not a single river anywhere in the England that is not polluted. And one of the largest sources of that pollution is the water industry. They have bled our chalk streams dry, they have filled the remains with sewage, and along the way have pocketed £72 billion of your cash, your money, that is now residing in a bank account somewhere offshore on an atoll in the middle of the tropics. They have paid their executives unbelievably untold amounts of your money. To give you one simple example, there is a chief executive at just one water company who has been paid £27.7 million over the last 10 years.